It's been my pleasure for the last 2.5 years to represent you in Indianapolis. I'm going to treat this more of a legislative update as opposed to a candidate speech or anything like that, because I represent 6 counties, okay, about 138,000 people, just to give you a perspective. There's Dearborn, Ohio, Switzerland, Jefferson, Jennings, and Scott. Ohio County represents about 4% of my district. I probably spend 60% of my legislative time working with your folks. And I know that for a lot of the elected officials here, I know that it's hard when you're, with open door laws and stuff like that. We can't talk a lot as a group, but protecting your riverboat, the last 3 years has been a battle. And it's been fun. Every year I've had legislation prepared to either protect the boat itself or at least your revenue associated with that. And I wouldn't be doing my due to my predecessors if I didn't get Senator Johnny Nugent used to come back. And for 20 years, he used to come to events like these or come to legislative luncheons and different things and talk about saving the riverboat revenue. And after you hear that a few times, 10 or 15 years of it, you start to scratch your head and think, is this guy, is he still with it? Well, let me tell you, it's real. Because every year, and especially budget years, which is every other year, it's a real threat. It's been a real threat the last 3 years in a row. It'll be a real threat next year. It's a big deal. It's a bigger deal to your county than it is any other county in the state per capita. So we have fought our ass off protecting that, and Shane Coons and Steve Slack, you guys hope you've been getting up, that they have come up to the State House dozens of times, testifying, working on doing the right thing, representing you guys. Representative Bascom and I have gone to bat, and we still got it. In my opinion, it's going to stay here until it makes no longer financial sense. You guys saw that this year we simply issued a new license for the northeast quadrant of the state, and they can decide where they're putting that and how they're doing it and all that stuff. But we're going to try to keep it here as long as we can. So it's I wanted to touch on that. Again, a former legislator, Randy Linus, would come back and he would tell stories about playing defense. And then again, you hear it, and if you come to a lot of these, you kind of just hear broken record. But this year, there were multiple bills that were going to infringe on local control and tell you where you had to put data centers and solar farms. Okay, it was House Bill 1333. Representative Baskin warned me. He says, we're sending a real crappy bill over to you. You better do something with it. So I got on the horn really quick, and we shot it down and got that taken care of, because local control should happen right here. And your plan commission and your commissioners can decide what you do with your property, not some bureaucrat from Indianapolis. You may have seen a press release a couple days ago. The governor finally signed our bill protecting our land from foreign adversaries. That's defined by the federal government. We have 4 foreign adversaries defined by the federal government right now: Iran, China, Russia, North Korea. All right, if you're from any of those countries, you cannot own land in Indiana. An interesting story, and I see red here, so it reminds me of this. So there was a great bill, and I'll tell you a little bit how legislation works. There was a great bill authored in the House. It was House Bill 1099. It was going to put a lot more stricter restrictions on how we monitor students from adversarial countries that enter our public universities. It came over from the House. It was assigned to my Homeland Security Committee, and we were sneaking up on a committee hearing on a Wednesday, and I had heard Rhett many times back in Dearborn County talk about how we probably just shouldn't educate these kids. So I had an amendment prepared for a committee hearing on a Wednesday morning. The chairman of our committee decided to not hear that bill, which it's chairman's prerogative, and any chairman of any committee on either side, the House or Senate, can kill a bill whenever they want. The interesting thing is, Bill 256 that we sent over to the House, we were able to amend the language of 1099 into 256 and get that done. Now, my amendment did not get in it, but it's baby steps, and we're monitoring what our public universities are doing with a lot of their students that we allow here from maybe places that aren't necessarily our friends. And that's a little touch on that legislation. I was very pleased to be the lead sponsor on House Bill 1003 this year, which again was going to take over, 1003, which we eliminated 35 government boards and commissions. Again, worked with Sam and Dinesh on that, and I want to thank him for that. I mean, we saved the midwifery folks, and we cut out 5 DEI boards and commissions out of our state government, which is always should draw an applause from a crowd like this. But so that was really good. It was a massive bill. Super short session this year, shortest one ever. We basically started with some redistricting things back in early December for those of you that are watching that one. But we went from basically January to the end of February. We probably saw well over 700 bills were filed. We heard over 500. We passed over 200 bills. So a lot went on in a very, very short session. It's been an honor to represent you for the last 2.5 years. It's not over. There's always going to be a fight. When I first got selected for this position, I knew Link 101 was a big hot item, and I didn't really know much about it at the time. Within the first 90 days of my being your senator, I had multiple meetings with NDOT, and I want to thank Madison and Warren for educating me on that subject. They were kind enough to give me some candies, donuts, and feed me some coffee one morning and explain it to me. So I had a meeting with NDOT early on, and they, within 90 days of me being out, they told me the project was dead. And so it is dead. It'll always be dead. It's not coming back. So for those of you that have any doubt about that, call me anytime. Kind of touched on everything. I'll be around all night if you have any questions. That's basic. This is the best opportunity I have to give a group like this an update with Indianapolis and how things are affecting you up there. And from a campaign standpoint, I feel like I've done you guys a good job the last 2.5 years. I have quite a few endorsements, including President Trump and our Congresswoman Erin Houchin and our Senator Jim Banks, and a lot of mayors and commissioners have supported me, so I appreciate your support too. Thank you.